Really love the minimalist style of this couple. They're based out of Spain. They're also Hasselblad ambassadors, so they've worked with some really big brands. Probably using X series bodies like 100 megapixels, medium format. And most of their work is like a combination of set building on location with a little bit of Photoshop. Images tend to be squares or squared verticals, which makes total sense with Hasselblad's medium format sensor, and that also is a perfect setup for designing on the square. I really think that's what's going on here. Things look a little too structured for this to be intuitive, but they're also not uptight. These are kind of loosely based, and I'm just going to assume that's because they're physical constructions. There's not a lot of digital manipulation. And it's pretty simple stuff. There's no golden section dimensions I could find. I checked for overlapping grids and nothing seemed to work. It's just solid, fundamental, minimalist design. And that's what makes it so impactful. They're just breaking down the square and using whatever divisions occur. And this type of structure goes back, like way back. Think Rome, 3rd century, those marble sarcophaguses, those panels with those long, extended panoramas. It's a pretty distinctive rhythm, mostly based on the diagonals of the square and the diagonals of multiple squares side by side. Once you're aware of it, you'll see it everywhere around this time. Anywhere in the world, really, those early centuries before the first millennia. They really laid the groundwork for the complexity of future generations. It always amazes me how relevant these ancient systems still are, and also how effective. I think my favorites here are actually these short verticals. While the dimensions are near golden section ratios of compound grids, they're not that. So the armatures aren't very symmetrical because they're not classical in the mathematical sense, they're just classy. And being in that 1.33 range, they're not quite what you see on your social media feeds either. That's more like a square and a quarter. This is closer to the Hasselblad's actual full frame dimensions on its medium format sensor, 43.8 by 32.9. So if you're just playing with the armature of the square, that's some real effective use of that space.